there was a wise man in India, and how this man got about living his life was he would basically live off of charity. Like he'd go around and be like, hey, can you like, he'd basically be a beggar. He'd just beg and ask for money from everyone. But what he would also do is he was very charitable and had a very good reputation because he was always giving. Like he would ask for money from one guy and then give it to someone else who needs it. So everyone loved him, but not everyone, because a lot of times he would ask for money from people and then never pay them back. So he had a ton of people that like he owed money to. And the years were getting on, this guy was getting pretty old, and the time came where he was like so old that he was about to die. Basically he was in his deathbed, and as he was laying there, he was surrounded by his students. He was a wise man, and they were like hoping to get like a last farewell, you know. And one out of nowhere, some guy comes up and he goes, "Oh, that's the guy that owes me." Like he heard that, because he owes money to a bunch of people. So one of the creditors, the people he owes money to, heard he was dying, and he came to the deathbed because he wanted to like get his money back before the guy died. He wanted his money. So he came over, he's like, hey, you owe me money. And he was all mad and stuff. And he's like, are you going to give me the money? And the guy goes, the old man who's dying goes, no, I don't have your money, but it's in God's hands. God will give you your money. So it's not up to me. And the guy was like all mad. He's like, oh, this is messed up. And all his commotion, he started attracting more people. And out of nowhere, there's a crowd all around this guy of people that he owes money to all of them. And all these guys are like mad, and they're all arguing. They're like, hey, I need my money. And they're all causing a big thing, right? And it's kind of disrupting the peace a little bit. The guy's students are a little worried. They're worried that their school isn't going to have like the same reputation anymore if this guy dies and doesn't pay all these people back who owe them money. No one's going to want to be charitable anymore. And but no one's getting their money back. And then out of nowhere, some kid is like selling stuff on the street, and he goes, hey, who wants to buy some bread? Who wants some bread? And everyone kind of stops for a second, like, what? And the kid comes in, and the kid is like, do you want any bread? And the old man's like, how much does it cost? And the kid's like, this is the best bread in the whole world. You'll never get bread this good. It costs 1 silver coin, which in that time was like that's like a ridiculous amount for some bread. And the guy's like, I don't have any bread, but I'll pay you half a silver coin. And the kid's like, all right. And knowing that the bread's only worth even half that, so he hands the bread out, and the guy goes, all right, feed everyone, give the bread to all these angry people. So all the guys are eating the food, and they temporarily calm down. They're not mad anymore because they're all eating together. And basically, after they hand the bread out, the kid's like, all right, pay me the half a silver coin. And the guy's like, oh, I said it's worth that much. I didn't say I would pay you. And the kid like starts like crying, and he's like seriously distressed. Like you can hear it in his voice. He's like, I need this money. Like my master who I sell bread for, he will kill me if I don't get the money. If you just take this for nothing. And he's crying, and the guy goes, it's in God's hands. It's in God's hands. And everyone's like, oh, not again. He always says that. And then out of nowhere, someone walks in, and they're like, some random guy, a rich man, told me to deliver this to you. And it's like a satchel, and he hands it to the old man, and he's like, oh, I wonder who could have gave me this. Like random rich person had a delivery for me. And he opens it up, and he has exactly the amount of gold in it for all the angry people, and then the silver coin for the boy. And basically the moral of the story is that God will answer the prayers of those who are actually in need. Like the boy genuinely needed that money, but all those angry people, they're already rich. The people who he owed money to, they don't really need the money. They're just greedy and wanted it. So then they're like, oh yeah, give it to me. But the kid, he really needed it, and he's crying, and he said it's in God's hands. And if you like from your heart are genuinely asking for something, God will always hear you. God hears the person who is at the depth of their soul in genuine need. So maybe the reason that your prayer isn't being answered is that you aren't in genuine need. Maybe you're praying for something that you don't genuinely need, you know, and Maybe if you are praying for something you genuinely need and it's not being answered, maybe you just need to wait. Maybe you need to have patience. Maybe you need to have faith. But just know that when you are at like that pinnacle moment that like you really need that prayer to get answered, it will be. It will be answered every time. God will always hear you. The universe will always hear you when you genuinely reach out from the depth of your soul. You will be heard and you will be seen, because you are always seen and you are always heard, because God in the universe is in everything. I am made up of the universe. This table is made up of the universe. This wall, everything is God, and God is in everything. Every thought you have in your head is heard, is observed, and in a loving manner. You're not being judged. You are truly loved for who you genuinely are. You don't need to become anything. You don't need to become rich. You don't need to become skilled. You don't need to become amazing. You are amazing for who you are right now. The fact that you even exist, the fact that you have this consciousness means you are a pure being. And the problem is we think our mind and our thoughts are who we are. We think our body is who we are, but you are pure consciousness experiencing the sensation of having a body, of having thoughts. They are merely passing things. It's a dream. It's fluctuating. You are an infinite pure consciousness. You don't need to think. You don't need to do anything. You're already perfect how you are right now. Right now. So that's my words of the day. Hopefully you enjoyed the story. And let me know if you guys enjoy when I tell stories. I like telling stories, and it brings satisfaction to my soul. So I think I'll do that more. Tell stories more and try to teach you about your pure consciousness, that you're worthy, that you're good right now. You don't need to change yourself. Just be, just experience, just what it's like. Just live, bro. Like, there's no pressure. You are perfect. You are good right now. So, yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys.